What's up, guys? I'm about to share with you the 5 steps you need to take to buy your first or consistently next creative finance deal. So as real estate investors, what's the first thing we do? We want to buy properties that make us money. So many people start off in wholesaling, flip a contract, and get some checks, except we quickly realize, like I did when I started, wait a second, I want cash flow. Cash flow is king. I would much rather make cash flow over time and get all the benefits that comes along with owning the asset and just simply flipping it and getting a one-time fast paycheck. In fact, the true wealth comes from residual cash flow over time. So the 5 key steps to getting your first or next creative finance deal is this. Number 1 is to make sure that you have in your mind what it is you want. So in other words, determine what part of town or parts of town you're okay with, what you want this property to be. Is it going to be a short-term rental, an Airbnb, where you're renting it by the night so you can make bigger cash flow but have more maintenance? Is it going to be something you just hold for a kind of set and forget, totally passive income? So what is your objective? So make sure you decide what you want. That's step 1. I don't want you to think about what you want in relative to what you believe you can get. In other words, if you say, I want a house that's in this part of town that brings me this kind of income, I don't want you to just think about, well, I have 20% down for a $100,000 house, so that's what I'll settle for. No, I want you to think about what you actually want, not money being objective, because creative finance gives you the ability to buy, frankly, any type of house that you can negotiate the right terms on. So number 1, decide your objective. Start with the end in mind, and that is massively important. Step 2, determine where you are going to get leads from. Now, houses for sale by owner on Facebook Marketplace is a place to get leads. Zillow is another place to get leads. Anywhere you find for sale by owner houses is a place that you can call and negotiate deals, creative finance deals. But when you're calling them and they're for sale by owner, you're going to talk to a lot of sellers before you find someone, most generally, who's willing to let you pay over time. If you're turning this thing into a business, you might even consider doing like I've seen a lot of other people do, and some of these items I'm about to name, we do. But that is, we get people to call us. So we'll post up on Facebook Marketplace, or we'll post up in a Facebook group, or we'll put out the word in wherever that, hey, I buy houses, or I'm looking for houses to buy. And if they call us, we talk to a lot less sellers in order to buy a house. So step 2, decide where your leads or deals are going to come from, because frankly, it takes daily consistent action to be able to get these deals. You probably aren't going to pick up the phone and call 3 or 5 people and buy a house with the terms you want in creative financing. So number 1, decide your outcome. Number 2, decide your lead flow. Number 3, get educated. So important, because what you say truly does determine what you make. And if you don't have the right information, it can cost you tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when you have the proper education and you know the right questions to ask, you can not only save yourself those headaches, but you can make a ton more money. So ask the right questions. What is the right education? It's knowing what you want, it's knowing how to ask the questions, and it's knowing how to find the right sellers. So we find a seller who needs to sell their house, and we ask the right questions. So the least she'll take on price. Then I ask the question, and this is the writer downer phrase I use because it's the truth. Usually the way it works is I'll buy the house from you for an agreed price. I'll close whenever you want, and then I'll send you a check every single month until I pay you off in full at an agreed time in the future. That, my friend, is gold. And I'm going to say it again. I ask them what's the least they'll take on price, and I say the way it usually works is we agree on a price now, and I'll send you a check every single month until I pay you off in full at an agreed time in the future. When you ask them that question, what's most people going to say? No. You know what no means? It means you're one closer to a yes. So move to the next one. Now, I'm going to show you some really cool rebuttals that you can ask, because a lot of times people say no because they just didn't understand how it works, because not everybody has been trained on creative financing yet, and that's okay too. So we educate, and if it works, great. Happy to help. If it doesn't, no hard feelings, we part as friends. So that is the question, the magic question that I ask hundreds of times in order to get a few people to say yes, that it does work for them for various reasons. Maybe they want to net more money over time. because they make more money by taking payments from me over time. Maybe they want to be done with it as is and close quickly, and the house doesn't support a cash price. You imagine you have a seller in this market. Maybe they have a 3% interest loan on the property, and maybe it's a $500,000 house, and somebody coming in there and buying the house for $500,000, getting a new loan at 7% interest, let's say, double the interest rate that's on there, their payment's going to be astronomically higher. So imagine the seller is selling, let's say their payment is, $3,000 a month. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Let's say the new buyer's payment on the same amount is $5,000 a month. So they're having trouble selling the property. Nothing wrong with the property, maybe. Maybe there's nothing bad about it, except there's a smaller pool of buyers. Maybe the property is, needs some updating. So now you come along and you ask that seller, what's the least you'll take a month until I pay you off in full? They already have a $3,000 payment, principal, interest, taxes, insurance going out. So it just makes sense for them to let you cover that payment until you pay off that loan in the future. You see how cool this could be for your unlimited wealth and growth? Now you was the answer to their prayer because you covered their loan, and the new person who wasn't able to get qualified for the $5,000 a month payment, maybe you find them, they had a down payment, and you're able to put them in the home for $4,000 a month. You just built you in $1,000 a month profit because of what you know. So now, that's why I'm talking about getting educated. Vital to know the right questions to ask. So without getting lost in the weeds of the creative finance, we ask the right questions, get educated. Make sure you're following this YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on all the socials because you're gonna be constantly getting education on how to do these deals. Step 4, make your daily action plan. What are you going to do to make sure that you are consistently talking to sellers until you get your first or next creative finance deal that gets you to the finances that you want? So, is it talking to 5 people a day that have houses for sale? Is it putting a magnet on your car that says, I'm looking for a house to buy, I buy houses? Is it posting out on Facebook groups and messaging 10 people online who have houses for sale? Decide what your daily action step is. That's step 4, daily action step. That's key. Only way we're gonna win is if we have daily consistent actions toward that objective. And when you do it once, you do it twice, you do it 5 times. Now, I'm going to show you how to automate it and not have to do it ever again. Just be able to work with your team who does it. Yet right now, I want to make sure that you have the ability at will to create financial freedom in your life, because that's one of my passions, is to help people have the financial freedom they desire and deserve, to be able to take care of themselves, their family, give, and whatever else that you want to do with the financial freedom that you deserve and earn. Lastly, build your dream team. So Andrew, I want one little rinky-dink house, which many of you have goals far beyond that. You want 100 or 1,000. That's even better. But regardless of whether it's one house or 1,000, you need your dream team. You're going to always close with an attorney. So you're going to ask someone in the community. In fact, I would ask an investor in the community who's the best closing attorney in town. So you're going to want to make sure you have a closing attorney. Maybe at a time you need an appraiser or an inspector. If so, you're going to build and have connects to an appraiser, an inspector, and always close with a real estate attorney. So regardless of how small or large you want your portfolio and your cash flow to be, you're going to need that dream team. Daily action steps are the key to get to where you want to go. I want to remind you that as you build your cash flow, the life of your dream, and the life of wealth that you know you want, you know you need, you know you deserve, remember there's a different way to play the game than you've been playing it, and it works. It's time to go to the next level and know that's what you want, and that's what I want for you. Hit that like, subscribe, and share button. I'll see you on the next video.